Hey guys, welcome to Doing Things Dan's Way. And this time you're jumping kind of in the middle of this video. I have a link that'll be up here that talks about how we got to this point. Right at this point we have the instrument cluster out on our G37. This is an 09 37, and the LEDs are failing on a number of the segments of the backlight. And so what we've done is we've gone through the process on that video of tearing the instrument cluster out of the car completely and bring it here to my office. And from this point, now we're going to do is we're going to get all the way inside the instrument cluster, get this circuit board out, and we're going to remove and replace all of the 36 LEDs that create the backlight on the tach and the displays, including even the fuel gauge and temperature. So that's what we're going to start with right here. We're going to do that, and on the back side of this I'll have links to the video that we just created getting to this point, as well as a video link to the full reassembly video as well, because it takes a good amount of time to put it all back together as well. So let's get started. Now today I'm going several layers deeper than this. I'm going to go all the way down the circuit board. Something else you could do while you're here actually is you could do a really good job of cleaning this plastic. I don't know if there's a polish you can get the scratches out with. Maybe it's impossible to replace just this lens, because the lens does come right off. So, yeah. Next step for me is to go ahead and open up this whole assembly. So this has clips all the way around. Clip, 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 clip. It doesn't appear to be any screws. So I'm going to start at a point where the clips are furthest apart. Just to get it going. Those two popped. These ones popped nicer. Like as soon as I popped them open, a gap formed. That's a better place to start if you can find a spot like that. Okay, now we're moving. So I'm going to work this gap along. There we go. It's coming open nicely now. Okay, the whole bottom's done. Down just these last two up here. The trick is not to overdrive them. Okay. There we go. So now we have off the display, the glass. This is where it gets interesting, because two things. One, to go any deeper on here, you have to take the needles off, which feels horribly painful because it just feels like you're going to break them. First time I did this, man, I spent probably an hour trying to get them off, because to get deeper into the circuit board we have to remove screws. There's one there, that's easy, but there's screws behind this bezel, and there's no way to get behind the bezel without taking the bezel off, which means needles come off. So what I did before is I used two of these spudgers, and I would rock left and right, just very gently coaxing the needle free. And then once it's up, you can grab the whole thing and pull it off. And there's basically a real fine needle there, and the backlight comes up through the plastic and illuminates this bar. So these are delicate and scary to pull off, but like I said, I've had them off before, which is why they're coming off this easy. They will be a lot harder to get off, and I have no guarantee they won't break off in the process. So do this at your own risk. Don't complain if it breaks to me, because you've been warned. And when I put these back on, I didn't even push them all the way down either. And the effect of that was actually kind of cool, because it created kind of the halo of the red that lights up here actually kind of created a red halo around the needle, because it wasn't fully seated. So that maybe, I may actually think of doing that again. I may not push them all the way down on there. Okay, now the next step also feels painful in that you this bezel is adhered right around the openings with some glue. So to get this open, you can start just ever so gently running a tool up underneath. And what you want to try and do is get yourself, without creasing it, you want to get yourself a tool all the way down around the ring so that you can pull it back. So just work really slow. You can hear the glue kind of letting go. Last thing you want to do is tear this thing. You'll be just buying yourself a new one if you do. Or it doesn't show up with the backlight on. So I'm just barely lifting up. Just kind of moving the tool around, hoping to find places where the adhesive will lift. Now these chrome rings do come off too, by the way. Spatula would be good too. This is not the best tool for this one. But starting with this bottom left one just because it's small. There we go. Get that adhesive clear. And then I'm going to work towards the tack. See if I can give you a better angle. Okay. There we go. So again, I'm just working down and around the tack, trying to get that open. This side. And that was pretty easy. Remember, I've had this open before, so. Last thing to do is scratch the paint on the backside because then the backlight will show through. That would be pretty ghetto. Stuck in one spot right there. It's coming. Hey. Look at that. Now hold it up to a light and make sure you haven't scratched the back anywhere. If you have, you can go ahead and block that out with some Sharpie on the back side if you've scratched the paint or something. You know, when you put it all back together, needless to say, you'll want to be extremely careful with any dust particles and stuff, because those are going to show up. Now this guy here, a couple more screws to go. I think like 5 screws to go. Get to the circuit board. Okay. Show me the circuit board. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so now you can see here's the ring of LEDs that would go around the tack. If I bring this back in place. Right. So these are the tack LEDs. These are all the indicators for trunk and TPS and service engine soon. All that stuff is in here. And there's a bunch of other optional sockets here, which is interesting, which implies that there's some other parts. Like even looking at this membrane, for example, it's showing that's just a trunk open. Like here's showing a convertible symbol, which this car is not convertible, so that LED is not loaded right there. So yeah, looks like there's some options built in that just don't get used. So these are the LEDs that are bad. I took this one out already to source a new one. This is a new LED here. You can see how it's looks like I picked a pretty good one as far as a mechanical fit. Brightness, that's another story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace, if you follow the circuit around, these are in pairs. So like these two are together, these two are together. And the LED drivers are these ICs down here. So TRA 305, 326, and 327. These are the current drivers. Okay, so you can probably see those upper two, like 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock LEDs are brighter than the rest. I'll check the forward voltage, make sure it looks like it's reasonable, and otherwise it looks like it's a go. Okay, a little detail about putting the needles back on. The zero position of the needle is going to be important. So what I found you can do is just barely put the needle on, and you can feel where it stops. Like it's really easy to go, and then it stops. That's your 0 point. So as accurately as you set that 0 point is as accurate as it's going to be when your car is in the off position, just sitting there. So if you wanted to, as you look at it, if you want it to show 0, take care here to get it where you want it. Otherwise it'll look, I'm set it a little high from this angle because you actually look at it like this. Right, so looking at it from here it looks a little high, but get that down on me. Now here's where you get to decide, do you want it to have a little red glow around here? You can leave the needle not pressed down all of the way. Or go all the way down flat with it. So basically repeat that procedure on all of these. feel where it touches. If your gas gauge is always shown empty as below the E line, here's your chance to fix that. If you want the E to be absolute below as it goes, then set it to be right where you want it. And if you want to cheat and make yourself feel like you're driving really fast, of course you can stick this needle on anywhere you want it to. So start off at 20. Yeah. Okay. That looks pretty good. Probably good to make sure they're all about the same height, so that one doesn't glow red more than the other if you're doing that trick. So anyway, now on this, you just want to make sure that there's absolutely nothing behind here dust-wise, because that's what you're going to be looking at for a long time. That fleck of dust that she allowed in there. Making sure, shining light from the front, I don't see any obvious specks or anything. Okay, I'm just going to go around carefully. Re-engage the ones that want to go first. Don't shove the ones that don't seem like they're wanting to go. Okay, here's the instrument cluster. Okay, there you have it. That's the whole circuit board completely dismantled and put back together again. The instrument cluster is ready to be reinstalled. Okay. And we are lit. We're lit bright. So I'll have to clear the airbag light, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll have to reset the auto up down on the windows, and I'll show you how to reset that as well. Okay, to kill the airbag light, let me show you here. You'll see as the airbag light will start flashing on you. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the car off. We're going to turn it on to accessory mode again, and as soon as that light goes out, turn it off really fast. There. Okay? Now we're going to do that 2 more times. Going to turn it back on. Wait for it to go out. Off. Back on. Off. I think I got it that time. Let's try it. Let's start it. Uh-oh. Okay. I gotta jump start this car now because we've been playing too long. Let's just see if the airbag light stays off. There we go. It's off. And then to get these guys going, the auto up, you lift up all the way to the top. Just hold it for 3 seconds. Go all the way down. There. And that works. Down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. There it goes. Well, guys, that's just about it. We've got all the lights fired up now. They're really bright. I probably will have to turn it down a notch or two, but hey, that's cool. Like, no worries. So if you want to see the reinstallation video in all of its gory details, you can click down here and below. If you want to see how we got to this point, see how we got the instrument cluster out of the car, that will be up here. If you like what you're seeing here, make sure you hit subscribe and you'll see the rest of these as they come. And remember, this is doing things Dan's way, where it's not done perfectly or not done to absolute spec, but you know, it's just done Dan's way. So if you enjoy it, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.